So, a short video this week, guys. There is some construction work going on at my place, so I don't have the time, and I don't have the time, I don't have the space. So, yeah, let's get straight into my team this week. It was a decent week. It was actually turned into a decent week by a very late Mo Salah captain goal. Uh, Otherwise, it's a low scoring game, and I was expecting it to be a low scoring game, and with some variance, and there was some variance. So you probably had a very good week if you owned the likes of Perisic, Andres Pereira, Kieran Trippier. Otherwise, it's the defense big at the back has not worked this week, but it goes without saying, these are quality players and they will come good. So the only guy in defense who did some job for me was Aaron Ramsdale, 6 pointer. Clean sheet. He's just not making the saves anymore this season. It's funny, Last season I had Sanchez for the longest time, and he kept on getting either 6 pointers or 2 pointers. And this season, it is Sanchez who's actually getting the saves, and I have Ramsdale, and he's just not making the saves. In a way, it's good, because I'll take 6 points on most of the weeks, and I think it's a fair price. 5 million, I think, is a fair price for Ramsdale. At least it's not 5-5 like Martinez was last season. So yeah, next up, Alexander Arnold, 0 pointer. I think he was a bit lucky not to get sent off in that game. Liverpool's defense is just not looking right. But definitely, if you're on a double Liverpool defense, I don't think you should be selling Robertson before the next game, that is against Bournemouth. And Trent is a season keeper for me, so I just don't care much. People are selling him. That's good. The ownership is going to come down. The same goes for the other two main defenders in my team as well. Joao Cancelo, he got a 0 pointer as well. So that's 14.5 million in the team who have started and played the entire game and scored 0 points. That is quite interesting, and I know a lot of managers are going to sell them off. And yeah, that's good, because I am very keen on holding them for at least most of the season. Reece James got 1 point. He generally gets 1 point in games where he comes off the bench, but he was playing at right centre back, and Leeds absolutely smashed Chelsea in that game. I think they thoroughly deserved that 3-0 victory. And yeah, so he at least got on the score sheet, and so did Nico Williams. Now I played him. I was kind of confident that Nottingham Forest were not going to keep a clean sheet in this game, because Everton are actually, they're not great, but they do a job at home, and I was expecting them to score. But the same was very much expecting Newcastle to put up a fight against City, and that is why I benched Kyle Walker and played Nico Williams. And yeah, Kyle Walker also got a 1 pointer. Perhaps if I had played Walker and I had benched Cancelo, I'd have got 1 point more, but there is absolutely no way I was doing that. I think Walker had a very difficult game. He was almost ran over by Alan Saint-Maximin and Joe Linton on that, his right side and their left wing. Yeah, so I'm not that keen on holding Walker for very long. I'm just, his price is actually not price. I think his price is actually going at the wrong direction right now. So it's very unlikely he's going to go up to 5.2. I wanted to sell him for a profit, but it's unlikely that will happen. I'll probably ship him out in next maybe 2, 3, 4 game weeks. Let's see. So yeah, that was my defense. In midfield, Salah, the show stealer, the ever so reliable Mo Salah. So I was on a fairly decent size red arrow when the Liverpool United game was going on. I had just Trent and Salah in that game, and Salah's, he was surprisingly just 89% at my rank. I couldn't believe it. So many people captain Jesus, and that says a lot about how people react to a particular week. Jesus got 19 points last week. Salah got just 2. Salah blanked. So people went with Jesus, and yeah, Jesus played really well. He Could have got much more points against Bournemouth, but yeah, I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, and there was absolutely no way I was going to not captain Salah in that game. And it was a disappointing game, of course, as a Liverpool fan, but Salah got a goal, and yeah, 16 points, I take it. And he single-handedly turned my red arrow into a green arrow. So yeah, very, very happy with that. Next up, Solly March, new signing, first transfer of the season. He got 3 points. Pascal Gross was heavily transferred in by a lot of FPL managers because of stats, because he scored a brace in the first game week. He got an assist. So yeah, but Gross was I think 5-6 when I bought in March, so he was not affordable. I wanted a 5 million player. I got a 5 million player, and in a way, some of the other options that I had in mind, Almiron got a goal against City. I think I would have loved it, to have owned him and him scoring against City, and then especially that goal being called offside and then we are calling it onside. That was really interesting, and that would have been one of the finest FPL moments. But anyway, I think March had a decent chance towards the end of the game. He almost had a free header and he missed. But yeah, you're not expecting a lot of things from a 5 million player, so 3 points are fine. Next, Andres Pereira. He was so good in that game. I did not see the game, but I kept on hearing from a lot of fans it was a cracking game, Fulham versus Brentford, and he created many chances. He was shooting a lot as well. So yeah, I'm very glad that I started. It was a purposeful decision. I wanted to play him, and I think he still has not exactly gone up in price, which is a bit surprising, considering he's an attacking player. He's playing number 10 for Fulham, and even then, someone like Da Silva has gone up in price, and Andres has not. Anyway, I think going forward, I think he's at least in Fulham's home fixtures. I think he's more than playable, and that of course gives us the option of using our bench money elsewhere, because he's not going to be a bench player every week. We can alternate him with maybe someone like Nico Williams, or maybe an inexpensive defender, maybe someone like a Brighton defender or something like that. And I'm very happy to have him so early in the season. And also a lot of people benched him, and I did not bench him. I wanted to play him, and I did, and I got the points. I'm so happy. Martinelli. So Martinelli keeps on delivering. Another player was not exactly, I'd said last week, he was not in my plans. I wanted to have Saka, and I'm again so glad that sometimes we ignore the good luck that we have. We just focus on the bad lucks that we collect throughout the season. Some of our players hitting the post, having goals ruled out by VAR and stuff like that. But this is a massive slice of luck for me. I think during the wild card, I wanted to have Saka, and I did not have. I was just 0.1 million short of getting the dream team of having Saka in midfield and Mitrovic Mitrovic among three of my forwards. Instead, I went with Martinelli, and I could then afford Jesus, so I went with Jesus. If I did not, I think my rank would have been somewhere around 5 million right now. And yeah, I think Martinelli has gone up in price by 0.4 already. So at the moment, I think he's a must own, and he's not looking like a rotation risk either. Emil Smith-Rowe has just not played enough minutes, and he's playing insane football. I think he's playing much more advanced than Saka. His link-up play with Jesus has been really good as well. So yeah, I'm very happy to have him. And then the two very template guys up front, Haaland with a 6-pointer, Jesus with just a 4-pointer. Now Haaland had an EU of effective ownership of around 89% again. So very similar to Salah. And Jesus had an effective ownership of around 112%. So him scoring more points would have cost me. And at the end of the day, I think gaining some points over people who have captained Jesus and Haaland was the most positive thing this week. And here it was just a moment. Salah just was at the right place at the right time and he got a goal. So yeah, that's it. And I scored 51 points. Overall, it's 171 points. Guys, rank is really irrelevant right now. I'm at 2.9 millions, and if you look at it, it's at my rank. It's 1 point is worth almost 100k rise right now. That single goal from Salah got me from somewhere around 4 millions to 2.9. That's a jump of 1.1 million pound, 1.1 million ranks, and that just says how close things are. The gap between mini league leaders and where I am right now, it's 30, 40. It's not even 50 points, and that much difference. Trust me. Towards the end of the season, when we play the chips and actual strategy comes into play with the doubles and blanks and everything, it's possible to overcome that much in just one single week. And right now, the important thing is to just keep pace with rest of them and just not spoil your team, not do things like selling Trent Alexander-Arnold or even Andy Robertson, I think, before Bournemouth. Don't do things like that and you're going to be absolutely fine. Don't try to overdo anything right now. Yeah, so that's it. That was my Gameweek 3 points, and yeah, it's a second green arrow of the season. 3 weeks. The first week, of course, you cannot have a green arrow. 2 back-to-back green arrows, and I'm very happy with that. And now going into Gameweek 4, most of the players have a home fixture this week again, so this could be a high scoring week. Plenty of captaincy options as well. Now at goal, of course, I'm going to play Ramsdale against Fulham. Fulham might score. I have a feeling, I can see Mitrovic getting a header in, but Arsenal have actually not been that naive in defense, and I think they do have, having brought Saliba back into the team, I do think they have some aerial resistance as well. So we might see, them just about maybe sneaking a clean sheet. But anyway, I'm expecting Mitrovic to trouble that defense. But yeah, still, Ramsdale in goal. That's fine. Alexander-Arnold against Bournemouth. No brainer. I think he's a genuine captaincy option this week. Reece James against Leicester. I really hope Thomas Tuchel has learnt his lesson and he stops playing Reece James at right centre back, irrespective of whether Chelsea signs someone to play at right centre back or not. Azpilicueta, why is he not playing Azpilicueta? I don't really understand. What does Loftus-Cheek offer at right wing back that you cannot compensate by by having Azpilicueta playing at right centre back and letting Reece James play in his natural position. And it's really frustrating in a way. I think a lot of people doubled up on Chelsea defense last week, and if Tuchel goes the same way, I think it is very much possible that Reece James and Cucurella, two players who are more suitable to playing wing backs or at least full backs, they could be both of them could be playing centre back this week, because Koulibaly got sent off and it's very likely that Cucurella is going to play left centre back for Chelsea. Anyway, so yeah, I think Reece James is again a pretty strong captaincy option. If he plays at right wing back, I can see him troubling that Leicester defense a lot. Cancelo against Crystal Palace. Now Palace is another fixture which anything can happen. I can see Palace put up a fight, but if you ask me, I think it's very much possible. It's very likely. It's much more likely than last week that City are going to keep a clean sheet this week. And yeah, it's tempting, to play Kyle Walker, but I'm not 100% sure that I want to do that. Walker actually started against Barcelona during the midweek friendly as well. So right now I'm not playing Walker. I'm just playing Joao Cancelo, but that could change. That could change later on. And yeah, my defense is exactly the same as last week. I'm playing Nico Williams yet again against Tottenham. Nottingham Forest have really poor defensive stats, but Dean Henderson has been saving a lot of shots, and they're up against one of the most attacking teams in the league right now, a team that has Kane, San, Kulusevski, Perisic, and it's the last game of the week and it's going to be on TV. I just don't want to watch that game without any player in my FPL team, and that is the main reason why I'm going with Nico Williams. And I really like the atmosphere at the stadium, at the City Stadium in Gameweek 2, and I want to experience that again with some FPL inclusion as well. So that is why I'm playing Nico Williams, and he's going to be he was really attacking last week. There is a possibility he gets spooked again, because it's going to be difficult for him to defend against the likes of Son and if Perisic plays on the left. But yeah, I'm sure Nottingham will try to put up a fight, and let's see. It's a risk I'm taking, and let's see if it comes off. The midfield is I'm playing a 3-man midfield right now. So Andres Pereira goes to the bench. He's playing Arsenal. So yeah, I'm not sure Fulham are going to score a lot against Arsenal. Martinelli plays against Fulham. Fulham actually have pretty poor defensive stats. I'm not much into stats, but yeah, there's no way I'm going to have Martinelli in my team and bench him. So he plays. Solly March plays against Leeds. Now, Brighton versus Leeds could be a very interesting game, because until last season, I think Brighton were doing pretty well against Leeds. But this season, I think Leeds are a bit different, and this is going to be a tactical battle. So, Leeds midfielders are being heavily bought this week. Rodrigo, Harrison, Aronson. And yeah, but I'm okay with waiting for one more week, because Leeds have Everton in Gameweek 5. That is maybe when I'll think about getting a Leeds midfielder. This week, I'm starting Solly March. Now, he's another player who could drop to the bench, and Kyle Walker could come in. There's an option, but at the moment, Solly March is starting for me. It's a home game for Brighton. Now, Brighton have been worse at home, and last game there were a lot of complaints about the pitch as well. So there is a possibility that this is probably not going to be a very entertaining game. But yeah, in the last game, Solly March got a lot of scoring opportunities, and let's see if he can at least put up that as a performance which is similar to that. And then I've got Mo Salah against Bournemouth. He has to be there. And up front, I've got Jesus and Haaland, two of the template forwards. I think we're getting into a position where if we're not captaining Jesus, we have to pray that he doesn't score much, because his effective ownership is going to be very, very high. He's 80% or so owned, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So just some people need to captain him for his effective ownership to go above 100, which basically means that if he scores, anyone who has him and has not captained him is going to lose rank. And it could be similar with Haaland as well. This week I'm not expecting that to happen, because Crystal Palace are not that bad, and yeah, he has not delivered very big points in the last 2 weeks, so he's probably not going to be captained that much against a quality Palace side. And my final player is the new signing, Ivan Toney. So I have got rid of Darwin Nunez finally this week, and I gave it a thought. There were a lot of options. I was looking at likes of Danny Welbeck. I was looking at someone like Callum Wilson. I was even looking at Bobby Firmino, and yeah, eventually I decided to go with Ivan Toney because I think he's playing some really good football. This is actually the Ivan Toney of the championship. He's getting into the box. He's not dropping deep as much, and this one being a home fixture for Brentford, I think he's going to be there pretty much everywhere. And he's a Liverpool fan up against Everton, so I like that as well. So yeah, Tony, in my opinion, is another player who's a very, very strong captaincy option this week as well. And so is Gabriel Jesus, of course. But my captaincy this week has gone with Mo Salah yet again. He has got a lot of goals against Bournemouth. To my memories, in that game he was playing number 9 actually. I'm not sure he's going to play number 9 because Klopp is very rigid about his favourite formation, and I don't think there's a possibility that Carvalho comes in and he plays at number 8 instead of maybe Milner or Henderson. Maybe both are going to sit out. We don't know, but Salah at right wing or number 9, I think he's going to create trouble. But Bournemouth is a very different team from they were back in 2018-19 and things like that. They're much better defensively, I think, and it may not exactly be that easy for Liverpool. We struggle against low block, and this could be a game where we find it hard initially, but once we break them down, I think we can score a few, and that is why it's a no-brainer. You've got to have Salah as your captain this week. On the bench, Danny Ward, and Kyle Walker. He may come in. Let's see. Andres Pereira, and Andres Pereira is actually third on the bench. Da Silva is second. So Da Silva against, I don't mind starting him in case the injuries and stuff like that. He can come in maybe against Everton. I think it's a decent fixture. So yeah, that is my team, and yeah, I'm not going to go too much into details here, guys. I thought this would be short. It is not. It's already like 23 minutes. So yeah, and like every week, if you like my content, subscribe. If you help in spreading it at least, and you can come and join me on Twitter as well.